I can say, well, on this date, the 30th of January, we had 3 alerts, all bad ones. Our number of new visitors went down, the amount of traffic that came from Google went down, and our organic traffic went down. So it's alerted me to that, but it's done that to me for me automatically. If you find that you're getting a large number of results, you can actually put the sensitivity of the alert detail down. So what Google will do is categorize the alerts that are actually coming up. So now Google will keep these alerts. It also will historically show you alerts. So if you've got data that's 10 years old, it will be able to create these alerts for the last 10 years worth of data that you've got. So you'll be able to see alerts historically as well. Now, if I wanted to create my own alert, I can go in to the intelligence section, and I can set, well, go in and create me a customized alert. I want to apply it to this website. I want to apply it for a day. I can also get it to email me. So on my registered email address, if I want to know when we've hit 40 visitors a day, Google Analytics will automatically email me. Quite often, when Google generates an alert, it might be in response to something that you've physically done to the website. You might have made a change to the website. So if you've made a negative change to the website, or you've made a change to the website that has a negative impact on your stats, obviously there'll be an alert generated. If you do an ad campaign, or you go out and do some marketing, and a lot of new visitors come in, obviously there'll be a positive alert generated. Okay, some of the other things that you might be interested in looking at is one of the interesting things is the site overlay. What we can actually get from Google is an overlay on a website. So if I have a look at our content section, in the content there is an option for us to have a look at a site overlay, which will actually load up the website and overlay on top of it a percentage of clicks, or a percentage of traffic that's gone into each of the clicks that are on the website. Now, here we've got, for example, a number of links across the top of the page and a number of links down the side of the page. And what Google has done is then distributed the visits and the follow-through clicks onto a map that's overlaid on top of these links. So I can see, for example, that when people arrive on this page, 6.8% of them actually click on the home page link. So from here, 6.8% of them click on the home page link, 3.2% click on the About Us link. And from this, because we've got our products listed here, we can quite easily tell which are the products that are most popular by just looking at the site. Obviously, as with most sites, this top, as iTracker will tell you, as Johnny will tell us, this top left-hand corner is the most commonly clicked on area of a website. So you tend to put most of your most popular products in this area on a website. And you'll see from here, our Dreamweaver intro course is actually probably the most popular. If you're looking at your site, you should be able to see the same kind of thing. You should be able to see what percentage of clicks each of the links or each of the parts of your website is actually getting. Does it marry up with what you expect? Are a lot of people actually going to the products pages that you expect them to go to, the service page you expect them to go to, or are they going to, say, for example, your terms and conditions page that you're not expecting? So where are they actually going? What are the pages, what are the paths that they're actually taking from this point onwards? So if I go to my Dreamweaver page, highlight over it, I can actually see how many clicks I've got. How many goals were achieved? This is important. How many goals were achieved by clicking on this link, going through this link onto other pages, and then potentially eventually arriving at a goal? Click on through to the next page, and once again Google will overlay onto it the percentage clicks. So a lot of people are actually interested in this tab. I don't remember what it is, but 8% of people actually click on. Next tab in the sequence, 37% of people click on. So we can tell that the tabs actually are working. People are following their way through the tabs. So site overlay, it looks nice, and it can also sometimes demonstrate things that you might not have been aware of about the site, the way the site's actually reacting, the way the site's being used by your visitors. One of the newer features as well that is included with analytics is something called benchmarking, and that's found under the content section as well. So if you go into content, there's a link there called benchmarking, and benchmarking will allow you to benchmark against other websites that are apparently in your industry. So you can see, well, yeah, apparently in your industry. You can see how other websites are doing compared to your site. So I can go into benchmarking, and from benchmarking we can actually go in there. They will compare our site with sites of a similar size. So looking at the number of pages we've got indexed, similar size to our site, we can then go in and actually set a category that we feel that our site is a part of. So if we feel, for example, that we work in the telecommunications sector and we provide teleconferencing, select that category, and what it will do is it will actually compare our stats, our visits, our bounce rate, the number of pages viewed, time on site, pages per visit, and new visitors with the industry standard. Okay. Now we've looked at some of the basics, one of the things that you'll probably want to do yourself is generate some custom reports, some reports that mean something to you for your data. So what I want to do is just kind of give you 5 or 10 minutes just to kind of knock your heads together, or knock your own head, to decide what are the kind of pieces of information that you'd be interested in measuring for your sites. So for some of you, the length of time people are on the site might be important to you. The length of time people are on the site, but only from the UK or from a specific region within the UK, might be important to you. And once you know what it is exactly that you want to measure, what I'll do is I'll just show you a little bit about the custom reporting and the advanced segments, because the advanced segments are extremely powerful. Okay, it's one of the very, very powerful features in Google Analytics, which will allow you to decide exactly what data you see. Because a lot of the time you don't want to see everything. A lot of times some of that information, like for example the stuff that's coming from California for Paul, it's not important. He doesn't want to see it. So what you might want to do is exclude that traffic. And if you use advanced segments, you can actually design your own dashboard that looks at only the data you want it to look at. And then we'll also have a look at some of the custom reporting options, what we can do with custom reporting. There is actually an advanced segments link that will allow you to create an advanced segment for, or advanced view for, a specific site. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to create one for us. I'm going to create an advanced segment that will allow me, so for example, to go in and see visitors that are from a specific region. So I'm going to say, well, what is it that I actually want to measure? Now in Google Analytics, the things that you want to measure are called dimensions. And there are a whole load of dimensions that you can measure. Things like visitors is one of the categories, and inside visitors, we've got which region they came from, which continent they came from, how long they visited us for, how many pages they looked at. We've got traffic sources. We've got campaigns that we might have set up, ad campaigns through our AdWords. We will also have what source the user came from. But if we know exactly what it is we're trying to measure, one of the things that we can do is we can just go into the filter at the top here, and I can type in what it is I want to visit, I want to measure. So I want to measure the number of visits that we get. And what I do is I grab visits and I drag that. If you want to measure only specific days that have more than a certain visits from a specific area, or from an area, and exclude certain areas, you can do that as well. But what I've got here is I've got all visits that I want to measure. And what I want to do is I want to measure all visits that also come from a specific area. So if I can click on "and," I can say I want to create a segment that matches the visits and also matches a specific region. So I want to say that they come from a specific city, Nottingham in my case. And before I actually create the segment, what I can do is go in and say test. Of those 158, how many in this time span of the data that we have completed goals? I'll get 44. I can say, well, only 44 people that have completed goals have come from Nottingham. And what I can then do is, once I say, well, actually, sorry, 6 of them. Once I've got this created, I can then go and say, well, create me this segment, and it will save out this view for me.